Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new Blacklist discussion. It is a Black Friday, every Friday and Tuesday. We're here discussing theories and all sorts of fun stuff related to the show all summer.
And today we're going to be talking about, is there another female character coming on board? Because as everyone knows, Megan Boone is leaving the show. And is it possible that Liz isn't dead and she's going to be coming back? We have a video on that, so we'll link that for you below. But today it's going to be more so, is there going to be another female character coming in? Because besides Park and Panda Baker, who shows up like once or twice a season, there is none. This is where we are. There's none.
It's a problem, to put it mildly, a problem. But okay, before we get into discussing any of this and who could be showing up in a greater capacity, why not hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our other Blacklist coverage? We also have a new American Horror Stories video up on the channel if you want to check that out.
Okay, so let's start with Park, because I mentioned Park. We'll start with Park. Okay. Is it possible that she could just have a way bigger role? Because since she's been brought on, I really like this actress, but they haven't given her nearly enough to do. And if they need a female lead, which they do, then maybe is there a way to bring her up higher into the show?
It's something they need to at least strongly consider because, what do we know about Park other than that she has bloodlust that she occasionally gets into when she's very, very upset, and she apparently, we met like a little bit of her social circle last season, and then that's kind of sort of it.
They have not done enough with Park. For bringing Park in, Park needs more to do. So they need more of a female lead. They have Park. Maybe.
Another possibility, though, of course, and this one is really like casting the line out there big time, but bringing on the real Katarina Rostova, and she is now a major character, a major part of the Blacklist.
This is me walking myself out of this video for all the Red Arena fans that are going to come and pile in on you.
You know that like gif that's out there of like the guy who's like having his own dance party as it's like dancing in the room by himself? That is me at the moment with this theory. But listen, it would be fascinating to see her now if she's not Reddington. There's been so much excitement. It would bring in a lot of intrigue. It would introduce new elements of the mythology.
Absolutely. It would bring in so many different elements to this mystery, because the mystery has been who is Reddington and who is Reddington to Liz.
Yeah.
If the real Katarina shows up, that mystery stays alive where it is. Well, then who is Reddington and who is Reddington to Katarina? Having Katarina come in as a lead is very enticing.
It's also just like, if Katarina is still out there, and the presumption is that she is, regardless of if she's Reddington or not, Townsend is dead. Most of Townsend's stooges also dead. Why would Katarina even be hiding anymore? Like, what would the purpose of this be? It was to kind of make sure the Townsend directive didn't get her.
Exactly. And it didn't. And now it's over. So she can come out. She can work with Reddington, bring in more blacklisters. Maybe that's the fire he needs to keep his empire going. If he doesn't need it anymore for Liz, could he need it for other things, for Agnes? And then Katarina can help. There's a lot of doors that open with Katarina coming in and being the new lead.
She could actually propel, even Reddington's story forward, because I think we've wondered, okay, what is the story of the Blacklist now that Liz is dead? And, what would Katarina's goal then be? How would she handle Liz's death? Is she going to bring in something else that gives Reddington motivation to keep fighting?
Yeah, because I would also assume that, like Reddington, who has many enemies over the years, Katarina also has many enemies. It is not only Townsend. So having the two of them together with many, many enemies, the task force can then also be brought in to help with all of this.
There's also just the question of would Katarina then be the person who actually tells us Reddington's true identity? Because, feasibly, Katarina knows who it is at this point, or at least I would tend to think so.
After the finale, I'm having a hard time believing that Reddington is anyone other than Reddington or Katarina. I just don't know who else it could be and what the purpose would be if it was not one of Liz's parents. So if Katarina is actually still alive and a different person, not Reddington, then does it then just put a stamp on it that this is the real Reddington, or is this more? It's a way for the show to drag this mystery out longer. And I say it that way because I have been hoping that they were going to tie up that mystery in a way that was satisfying to all of us and move into a brand new, bigger, fun mystery.
I have this image in my head of Reddington and Katarina meeting back up, and Katarina knows who the real Red is, and she just looks at him and she's just like, "Hi, Bob. It's been a long time." And that's like that's how we all figure it out. A throwaway line. Just imagine the fandom, no matter where you stand, with some of that. But yeah, clearly there's a lot to talk about with Katarina if she is made a female lead. But let's transition over now to Priya, a very popular character.
She is really popular. Everybody likes her. I loved her. She was really well thought out. She was only in it for a short time, but they did a lot with her during that time. I think a lot of us would like to see her come in as a female lead and work with Reddington in a bigger capacity.
I think the real question here is, what sort of show do they want the Blacklist to be moving forward? I mean, do they want it to be sort of this heavy mythology-based story of burdens and the 30-year project and like all this really emotional stuff? Or do they want to just kind of mold it now into, let's just have fun, let's blow the doors off, let's do some like crazy heists or some cool criminal exercises? Because it feels like that's what Priya's lane is. If you want to make the Blacklist into that, bring Priya on 1,000%.
If they decide the writers are watching our videos and they've heard my idea of the Reddington bucket list with Dembe and going off and doing all these grand adventures, having Priya along for these adventures would be amazing. I would love it. I would watch it all day long.
It is going to be a gas, everyone.
All right.
I don't get to say that quote enough in these videos. And it's just, I want the Blacklist to ultimately give us more answers eventually, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like after everything we went through in the second half of season 8, it would be fun to just have a few episodes that just are just fun or crazy or action-packed or kind of just like weird, and this is a chance to really embrace that.
Okay, let's talk about Paula, because Paula was introduced as well as someone who is now working with Reddington, here and there. And she's proved herself to be quite knowledgeable for not really knowing a lot of what was going on. She's quite good in certain situations, like she was with that whole bingo thing.
Yeah.
Is it possible that she could become a much bigger role going forward in just Reddington's life, in his empire? Could we be seeing her moving into a leading role? Probably not. I would guess probably not. I mean, I really like Paula. I would like to see more of her, but as a lead, I'm not sure what that would end up adding to the show.
For me, 5 episodes. Like, that's how much I want to see Paula in season 9. Because it's like, I love her. She's a fun character. But to me, Paula's good in doses. It's sort of like you want to be really excited when she's there and be like, oh man, Paula's a part of this episode. I really wonder what she's going to do here. And I think if you stretch this character too thin, then it starts to be, okay, are the writers just throwing her in for the sake of throwing her in? And she's not a lead to me, but there's still so much you can do with her. It's sort of like, Glenn, he was never really a lead, but they found so much fun stuff for him to do. The car dealership story is so ridiculous, but I loved it so much.
Well, the other female that's left really is someone like Panabaker. Now, I understand that also Agnes is a female that's on the show, but as a female lead, I don't know what they would do with her really, sort of at this point. But is Panabaker someone that can come in more as a lead? I think if she's not who she says she is, and that she really has been sort of this undercover, maybe working with Katarina, maybe working with Townsend. There's been all kinds of theories that Panabaker is not who she says she is. Then that can work really well to be sort of a new foil for Reddington, of someone that he's going up against who can be more of a female lead.
I'm all in on this. Like, I like this idea a lot, just because it's an established character who already may have some adversarial tones with a few other characters on the show. She already threatened to shut the task force down. She had a burn notice out on Liz. There's a lot to do with Panabaker. And the thing is, even if I end up not liking her because of either who she really is or what she's working for, I also kind of still really like Panabaker. Like, she's just such a weird character.
She's really badass. I really like Panabaker. I would like to see her have a bigger role. I'm just not sure how that happens. If the task force is really dismantled, which it seems like it is, and if it, if it isn't, I'm not sure why it's not. It really should be at this point. Everybody's compromised and has been doing whatever, and Liz is gone, and it shouldn't be there anymore. So if the task force isn't there anymore, then what is Panabaker's role going forward, and any connection with Red?
We clearly have a lot of ideas and stuff to think about here, but of course, we want to know what you guys are thinking about. So who would you want to see become a new female lead of the Blacklist? Is it someone we've named here? Is it someone we haven't named here? Do you have your own idea? Let us know in the comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our Blacklist discussions. We'll have another one on Tuesday. Check out our coverage of American Horror Stories, Animal Kingdom, Big Brother. We got a lot of stuff going on. We'll see you guys here next time.